Wolves look to take charge here at the Target Center in downtown Minneapolis. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Last outing for Minnesota, they won that game against the Celtics.
You know what? It's a fine line between attacking but yet staying under control, and they did, and that's why they shot such a high percentage.
Yeah, they pushed the pace, and typically you get high-quality shots when you do that. I thought they were terrific all game, Greg.
Now here's Davis. And Vucevic pulls it down. And even though Vucevic can get you a good amount of blocks and steals, Clark, in a season, most would agree his defense isn't a strong point.
No, it's not, but it's not a liability either, Kevin. I mean, he understands where to be and how to get there. He's not super athletic and doesn't protect the rim in a shot-blocking fashion. But he knows how to use his body to position himself well defensively.
It's deflected. Here's Davis. And it's off the back rim. No good. Pass to Bielitsa. Paul surveying the floor. And he banks in the layup. Paul's got his first bucket of the night.
And we know Paul's not the biggest guy in the league, far from it, but that does not stop him from finding ways to score inside. Well, I'll tell you what, his vertical is awesome, off the charts. A short center who still makes his presence felt.
Pass to Bielitsa. Lets it go with a three. Paul can't get it to go. Grant, right side. Paul outside. Lets the three fly. Paul can't get that one to fall. Davis down low. Happy to see that one go in for his second make in 5 attempts.
And, you know, got to admire the patience inside from Davis. Outstanding at staying under control, taking his time, and burying the quality shot.
And the dunk by Bamba.
You really couldn't ask for a better finisher for that play. Bamba able to go above and beyond there. It makes him a humongous target.
Out of bounds, Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
You know, you look at most winning teams in this league, and there's no denying they have an identity, who they are and how they play consistently. The Rockets fall into that category, a defined style of play and pieces that fit pretty well.
Oh, just a picture-perfect alley-oop. You gotta love that one, Kevin.
A little surprised, Greg. He didn't go for the big slam, but it works just the same.
It actually almost makes it a little more special. Grace over power is how I would look at it.
And Clark, talk about the Rockets' identity, their style of play.
Yeah, it's all about the analytics, quite honestly. They're looking for drives and three-point field goals. Constant pressure on the defense. The long-range ball spaces the floor, and defensively they're going to try to switch and keep the ball in front and deny the same three-pointers they're looking for at their offensive end from the opposition.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
Well, you know, Greg, they can count on him to get buckets. I mean, he's getting the ball because he's very efficient when he has it.
And the dunk by Bamba.
And how about the 9'6" standing reach Bamba has? I mean, it's unguardable this close. Dunks it with such ease.
So the Timberwolves call their first timeout.
And with Mohamed Bamba, one of the first things you notice is that 7'9" wingspan. I mean, yeah, he's got to add more muscle on that frame, but he can use that reach already to make an impact at both ends.
And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Murray. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And even at 6'5", that's not a giant by any means. Murray elevates high inside for these buckets. He's a high percentage shooter down low for sure.
And with Bumba, in addition to his crazy length, you also get a player who's extremely smart.
How about getting scholarship offers from Ivy League schools, including Harvard? You can see him thinking on the court. He's deliberate in the things that he does. Bright future ahead for him.
How about the leaping ability of Davis? Easily gets off the ground to throw it down. And he's a quick jumper and decision maker.
Murray with it. Back to Collins. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Collins has got his first 3 points of the game.
You know, an area worthy of further development for Murray is keeping his teammates involved.
To the inside.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
And guys, I like the fact that he chose the one-hand tomahawk slam because you get a little higher when you go off one hand and 1 foot.
Back to Fox. Shot clock at 6. Three-pointer. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Collins. The Rockets pull it in.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Boy, excellent recognition from Fox there, Kevin. Outstanding at recognizing when his guys are open.
Here's Collins. Off target with his 3.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Patrolling the perimeter well and didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A+ defense.
Bamba wide open, and he fires. And so it's Houston. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Houston.
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnover.
Connects from 3-point range. Elites has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for Minnesota. Now Curry. Lots of room. And misses it off the right side of the rim. And this Timberwolves team, so fun to watch.
I agree. All-star talent on the rise, athleticism, and they can light it up too. Yeah, fun group.
Down low. It's stolen by Vucevic. Back to Murray. Timberwolves passing it around. The Elites misses. And here's Curry, who brings it up for the Houston Rockets. They lead by 4. It's off to Utah for him after this game as they take on the Jazz. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. Now here's Murray. And Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
And the Rockets making a change here. Minnesota calls timeout. In NBA history, only a handful of rookies have averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds. And Clark, you were one of them.
Yeah, it's a point of pride for me. Obviously wasn't able to be part of a playoff team in the short time I played, but did distinguish myself individually for the short time I played, and that's fairly select company when you talk 2010 guys as rookies, and it's a pretty impressive list to be on. Actually, one of my peers, Terry Cummins, is also part of that first-year 2010 group.
You talk about names: Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem, Tim Duncan, Bird, Shaq. I mean, what great names.
Yeah, some phenomenal names, no doubt about it. Glad to be on that roll call list.
We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Zeller. Back to Curry. Valentine wide open. He fires. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Valentine's got the lead up to 7 now for Houston.
Where was the defense? Come on now. Where was it? No idea how they gave up that open look.
Johnson wide open. He fires. Drains it from beyond the arc.
They are absolutely stroking it from beyond the arc. Yeah, another turnover there, but guys, overall, they've taken really good care of the basketball.
Paul goes in. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Count it. And now just a 2-point Rocket lead.
And when you're open, Paul will find you in a nanosecond. I mean, that's one thing that makes him really special.
The shot by Brogdon wide open. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Curry from deep three-point land. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow.
He's gaining more and more confidence over time from deep. Seth Curry proving he's got touch from out there.
For Minnesota, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
Well, last season the Wolves ended a 14-year playoff drought. It was the longest in the association. And they did it in dramatic fashion. A winner-take-all overtime victory in the final game of the season against the Nuggets. I actually watched that game, and it was worth staying up late for.
And Wilson Chandler with the slam.
Getting up with power. Got to respect the bounce of Chandler on these throwdowns.
Pass to Dotson. Here's Rabb. Zeller inside. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. And if the regular season brought encouragement for the Wolves, Clark, the postseason showed us just how far they've got to go.
That's right. That's exactly right, Kevin. A win in the first round, just one win. The Rockets were a hard matchup for them, but there's a big difference between being a playoff team and a title contending team.
They get a hand on it. Pass to Johnson. Paul with the bucket. Paul's got 6. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Minnesota.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor.
And Chris Paul still looking for his first title. This Rockets team represents his best shot, Clark, but last year they couldn't quite get it done.
Well, the big reason for that, Kevin, was the fact that Chris Paul was unable to play in Game 6 and 7 against Golden State. He was so instrumental in key moments throughout that series. Had they had him in Game 6 and 7, I think they very well could have been playing for a championship last year. Boy, take a look at the hops of Grant. I mean, really getting up and sending a message with that alley-oop.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
open look here for Murray.
You know, and he started off shooting it pretty well, but here in the second, he has started to falter.
There's 45 seconds left to play here in the half. Aston Yang. And again, Minnesota will turn it over.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And here's Grant. He'll bring it up for the Rockets. To the paint. Stolen by Collins. The Timberwolves gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Yeah, Murray is clearly a shoot-first guy who can really fill it up. This is a big-time bucket getter. Solid trip from the line right there. Knocked him down, and it was easy.
Here's Bamba. Murray with the defensive effort.
And this is where you milk the clock.
Yeah, that's the intelligent play here, Greg, no doubt. No reason to chuck up some garbage shot.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Here's Hart. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Minnesota on top as they wrap up the second. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. And the Timberwolves call time here. Clark, agility is such an important thing for players to have, obviously. When you look at the offensive end, knowing that agility has that upper value, who are some of the more elusive players you see in the game now?
Man, I don't think there's any more elusive player in the game than Steph Curry. I tell you, he's not the most athletic, he's not the fastest, but he is the slipperiest guy to try to keep a handle on. His ball handling, his shot making, his change of pace. I'd throw Kyrie Irving in there as well. Kemba Walker, diminutive in size, but boy, is he hard to keep corralled. And Lou Williams, one of my favorites. One of the great scorers, maybe one of the greatest scorers ever, under 6'2" in the league.
Terrific names there.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
Bertans can't get it to go.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Grant gets a wide open look. Good, and a nice assist from Fox.
Well, I tell you, I like the fact that Grant is selective in the shots that he takes. He's looking for quality. He senses the defense is playing off him. As the pass is coming to him, he's prepared. He's getting shot ready as the pass is in the air.
And it's Mohamed Bamba with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Rockets on defense. They trail by 1. Here's Paul. No good. Shot missing. And the Rockets take it the other way. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. They get it again. And he lobs it up toward the rim. And the dunk by Bamba. So it's the Timberwolves now. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. And that game closes out the 4-game homestand for them. Pass to Brogdon. And again, unable to change momentum here.
They're in a hurry. I think, Kevin, they're rushing things a little bit to begin the half. Nothing pretty about this 1-for-4 start.
It's a close game here in Minnesota. Inside. Here's Bamba. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. Bamba's got 11 points.
Everything working for him out of the half as they've hit 4 of their first 5 shots.
That's to Vucevic. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And Grant sends it back.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5.
And Jeremy Grant, great genes for the game, Greg. Father was Harvey, uncle was Horace, both NBA players and stars. His brother Jarian also in the association.
Yeah, and Jeremy might be the best athletically of them all. I mean, 6'8" with that 7'3" wingspan, great bounce. If he can develop his skill to match, he'll have a long and prosperous NBA career.
Pass to Bamba. Back to Davis. It's good. He's got 10.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Ball right side. Harkless. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Off target from three-point range.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Yeah, still close, but with their tough play on the boards, we're certainly seeing the effort.
Minnesota calls timeout.
You know, it's funny, guys. I'm still not sure that Chris Paul gets enough credit for just how special he is as a player. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, very few players in league history have been able to impact the game at both ends of the floor at his elite level.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves trail. And you look at Chris Paul's numbers, they stack up to any point guard that's ever played the game. Clark, what do you think is the most underrated part of Chris Paul's game?
Well, I would think it would be his defense and his perimeter shooting. I don't think he gets the credit for being the perimeter shooter he is, but defense would stand out to me.
Right side Curry. All sorts of time. And they pick up 2. Curry's got 5.
You know, the staple of Seth Curry's game is shooting the ball off the catch.
Murray, good.
Always got to patrol the three-point line. When you don't, you suffer the consequences.
On its way from Curry for 2. They get the rebound. Chalk up 2 there. And the Rockets lead by 2.
Well, I like watching him get after it on the glass now, staying active, and usually that leads to good things.
And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That is his first foul of the game. To the middle. Pass to Murray. Lays it up off the glass. 9 points in the game so far.
Good concentration by Murray to score it inside.
Left side Davis. And here we go. Murray heading to the hoop. Here's Hart. No luck that time in the shot that would have put them on top. Here's the 3. Collins grabs the miss. And finished off by Collins.
An aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. 2 hands and down.
And that one's good by Davis.
And the soft jump shot there of Davis. You got to respect his perimeter game.
In the corner, Collins with it. Murray surveying the D. Lets it go from 11. Shot by Collins, no good.
If they increase the tempo, they got a chance at a 2-for-1.
Execution paramount. Speed it up and put the defense on their heels if you can.
Murray left side. Here's the 3. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Now a timeout called by Houston.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
Timeout called the Rockets. Six seconds left in the third. Gets it off. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game. So and with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Houston in the lead. To the paint. And it's Davis with the jam.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up.
Better safe than sorry, right?
On the wing, Chandler. Back to Hart. Pass to Vucevic. And that one is off. Davis with some nice D. And there's the foul. It'll go on Josh Hart. That'll be his second foul of the game. Rockets leading by 5. Outside Curry. Now here's Davis. Over Wilson. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. Here's Hart. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. Aston Niang. Down low. Vucevic. 5 on the clock. And the rejection by Curry. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
And whenever Vucevic has the ball that deep in the paint, I mean, he's looking to throw it down.
Inside. Dotson. No good with the layup. And Tyler Zeller's going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Timberwolves trail by 3. We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. To the paint. Here's Wilson. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Minnesota calls timeout. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup, and for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, well, let's summarize what Tom Thibodeau went over with his guys during the break. With this game in the balance, he really came after his guys. He said, this is our time. Right now, be in the moment with each other. Do your job, and I promise you we'll win this game. Back to you.
To the inside. It's tipped. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. It's stolen by Vucevic.
That's only the first turnover, guys. He's been safe as an option for them at the offensive end.
Plenty of drama in this one so far.
Yeah, don't be surprised if it isn't decided until the final buzzer.
Houston moving it around. And Davis throws it down.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
Here's Paul. 4 on the clock. Here's Brogdon. The Rockets pull it in.
And they've had the advantage tonight on the glass, and that's another big one.
And in a close game like this, it can be won or lost on the boards. They've got to keep it up.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Loads it up for Davis. Nice shot there by Bamba. Bamba's got 11 points here in just the second half.
He's showing he wants to be the man. Bamba has the hunger to step up in those big moments.
Here's Murray. Baseline J on the way.
And we've seen them come out and be much more active defensively this half.
And that one drops for him. And now a 7-point Rocket lead.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
It's good.
Jamal Murray proving he's not afraid of the big moments. Big time shot there.
Outside, Davis. And it's Davis with the jam.
He has really shot the ball extremely well, as you'd expect. Like we say, he's been making sweet string music all day long.
And he just elevates and powers in the one-hander.
Textbook.
I'm glad he didn't go overboard and try to do too much there.
And how about the excellent court vision? Just keeping the defense off balance.
Yeah, that was a sweet pass right there, setting up his teammate nicely. And that's really how you move the rock. Share that sugar, man. Share it.
Murray outside. Stolen by Bamba. Here's Fox. The shot from the low post is good. And the Rockets lead by 9. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Minnesota calls timeout. They're trailing by 9. 1:24 left to play here in the fourth. On offense, here are the Rockets. They're on a 14-6 run. To the middle. And the dunk by Bamba.
And it's nice to see Bamba finding his groove. When he's in sync, he feels like he can make any shot.
Ball for 3. Drills the three-pointer.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Down low. Pass to Bamba. It's stolen by Vucevic. Chandler outside. Back to Paul. Now Vucevic. Rebounded by Cephalosha.
Tell you, that is not what they want. A contested jump shot. The defense right on him. You need to get a better shot than that.
Paul goes in. It's deflected. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Davis has got the ball. And it goes down 2 points.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. I mean, you can tell they want to put this thing to bed.
And now Bamba pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
No doubt about it, partner. But unfortunately, the flip side of that coin, the drive home for the hometown fans, will be rather flat.
The main thing you get with Bamba, imposing defender, shot blocker, alters everything in the paint.
So we see the Rockets taking the win here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.